senior Alberto Ciapparini. Today is escorted by girlfriend Kenzie Marshall. Berto's major is health and physical education with specialization in exercise and sports science. His favorite sports moment at Bluefield College, all the moments shared with the volleyball family. His words of wisdom that you'd like to pass on. Assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. After graduation, Alberto plans to find a job as a volleyball coach or assistant coach at the collegiate level. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a big round of applause for Alberto Ciapparini! And you will be trying today.
It's time for Senior Day in the Dome Gymnasium. Alberto Ciapparini Senior Day festivities have begun, and now we are ready for the nightcap of the tri-match in this men's volleyball tri-match here at the Dome. Hello, everybody. Bailey Engel and Jackson Bass. We're glad to have you with us as Bluefield College takes on the Thomas More Saints from Florence, Kentucky. And, well, Jackson, after that marathon first set we saw from Thomas More against Carolina University, the Saints got their act together and won that one in 3-0. But Bluefield College looked very confident against Carolina University earlier today.
They did, and Thomas More really, I didn't feel like they got where they needed to be. Yeah, they scad by an 0-10 team, but if they want to beat Bluefield again, they're going to have to step up their game.
And that's really what makes it interesting. Bluefield College did look better against Carolina University than Thomas More did against the Bruins, but Thomas More beat Bluefield at 3-0 last time out, and right out of the gate, Mason Cobbler, who is probably the best server on the team for Thomas More, able to pound that ball in with an ace.
And that's such an easy thing to make. You can't make those kinds of mistakes if you want to win this game.
Well, he's got a little doubled up there. Muter wearing the blue, the libero, Ciapparini. What a diving play. And Leo Fernandez pounds it down. So all tied up at 1-1. We see for Bluefield, Jovian Banks getting the start, as well as Tony Martin and Yadiel Diaz. Three of those guys we did not see in the game against Carolina University. So saw that playing against the Bruins, a team that had not won a set this year, and Bluefield College able to tie it up. Jovian Banks with a two-handed slam down. And a big block there. So now 2-1. Rams all fired up trying to avenge this loss from earlier this year. Senior Day, Alberto Ciapparini. Big swing on the outside, whistle blows. And a net violation, I believe Banks hit the net. So now it's 2-2. But Bluefield College, I think that was some of the, now granted, playing against the Carolina team early in the day, Bruins had just woken up, and also Bluefield College was just right out of the gate against a team that really struggled this year. But the Rams looked confident for the first time consistently against Carolina University this morning.
And I think that's really going to play into this game. The confidence that was built in playing after losing to Cumberland, Tennessee, think it's really going to show in this match.
Jovion Banks gliding and then popped up by McHenry. On the near end, Yadiel Diaz just threw up the hands defensively, and a point falls for Cameron Ware, and the Saints take a 3-0 lead. Saints coached by Zach Ober, now in his second season. Alfonso Alvarez also in his second season at the helm of Bluefield College men's volleyball. Here's McHenry, who has really just danced up to the ball and dealt a couple of tough serves against Bluefield today. Fernandez, what a dig. Trying to save it into the bench and able to. Cobbler sending the ball over. Here's Yadiel Diaz, too far. And what a point that ended up being for Thomas More after the effort from Cameron Ware.
We didn't see Yadiel Diaz this morning, and I'm glad we get to see him because he was such a big part keeping that Cumberland game close.
Yeah, and definitely a talented freshman coming from Puerto Rico. Way too far. McHenry sails the ball out beyond the back line. Good to have some energy in the building. Bluefield College playing in front of a few fans. Remember, you're allowed to bring 25 fans into the building. And also a women's volleyball matchup right after this. Loads of volleyball at the Dome. A big volleyball day for Bluefield College. Here's Cobbler on a set. Yadiel Diaz, Litzler digs. Wow, ball goes sky high. Martin finds Diaz, who is backpedaling. Looks like Thomas More has woken up just a little bit. Ball bounces away. Bluefield College getting the point right back to tie it up at 4 apiece. So Colby Muter trying to come up with a big ace here for BC. See what Muter can do. Jumps up. Litzler, very tough in that first set, especially against Carolina University. But McHenry pounds the ball into his own side of the net, and the Rams take a 5-4 lead. Muter jumps and swings the right arm. On the other side, block can't substantiate. General Smith into the game for the first time for Bluefield, by the way. Also did not see him this morning. Matter of fact, it didn't seem like Alfonso Alvarez really dug into the bench as much. Almost kept it fair against the Carolina University team that only had 7 players and a service error. Looks like Bluefield College is very fired up, though.
The energy came from the first game, and I think it's really going to show in this next one. If Thomas More wants to win this, they're going to have to really use their offensive/defensive tools, such as Mason Cobbler and Juan Nunez Gonzalez.
Defensive tools showing up for Bluefield. General Smith and Yadiel Diaz. Very fired up Bluefield College team, 7-5. Here's Fernandez, a good serve. Blocked. Cobbler all over the floor. General Smith. Bump. 2 hands. Pop back. Muter with a dive at the last second. Comes the attack near side and blocked. General Smith all fired up for Bluefield. I think this is the loudest the Dome has been this year, and we have only allowed 5 fans into the building, and 3 of them are administrative. So this is very huge for Bluefield College to get out to a big start here, and now service error for the freshman Leo Fernandez. New man into the game, Connor Young. Going to serve for Thomas More in the black. What a play by Martin. And General Smith to back it up. Good dig from Ciparini. General Smith. Whistle blows, and a point for Bluefield. Looked like that Thomas More might have gone under the net there. So 9-6 the score. Litzler. Cobbler with a pop-up. Carlson. Well, a big point for the Saints to find themselves back into it. Carlson on a Chipperini. How did Litzler even get that off? Big kill for Berto. And celebrated as a senior here today, Jackson, where Bluefield College, and you said it earlier, that the Rams certainly will miss Alberto Chipperini when he's gone.
They will, but with a lot of offensive people like Yadiel Diaz, and they're freshmen.
Right.
I'm not too worried about the future of football.
And I think as well, what Albert, big collision under the net. That seems to be okay.
I think he just tripped himself up a
Brooke
little bit.
Casson, the way he hit the floor, I thought that the way he was just surrounding all the energy for Bluefield College and sportsmanship, able to get him up so quickly, I thought something was deathly wrong, but lost in all that. Bluefield College got the point, 11-7. Terrell Boston back to serve for Bluefield and bringing out one of those trusty floor mops. And you know, funny story about those, Jackson. I believe that we've had two of them before. This is down to our last one. We broke it last basketball season, and somebody was sweeping, and the bottom of it just disconnected.
Honestly, when I saw that earlier, I thought it was one of those things where you punch and it came back flying at you.
Oh, like the Bobo doll things?
Yeah, you punch and
oh,
swings back
okay,
at you.
right. I can see that. I guess that the stick end of the mop is the okay. I gotcha. Terrell Boston with the serve. Over pass, two hands, Chipperini. Well, the senior from Brazil, eyeing 900 career kills. Cobbler. Blocked again. Was it in? No. Banks almost got it. Well, Jovion Banks, we've talked about him adding a good amount of height for Bluefield. Tallest man on the roster right now is 6'6", him and Eric Duran, but Banks getting a little bit more playing time in the last couple of moments. Right into the net. Another point for the Rams. Casson misses.
Serving number 3, Sony Martin.
And it sails out. Tony Martin almost had another ace, just missed the mark.
Now serving for the Saints, number 5, Mason Cobbler.
Mason Cobbler is one of those guys on that Thomas More Saints that's a really great server. And as I say that, service error.
Well, he's the guy that really brought them back in that big comeback against Carolina University as well. And I think we're really just brushing over the fact that we saw a set go from 40 to 38 today. I mean, that's just unheard of.
Well, it's not as big as the 87, 85.
Yeah, well, come on. Yadiel Diaz off of the block, 15-9. Timeout called by Thomas More. Rams going to talk about it as well. They lead by 6, 10 away from a set 1 victory. And we're back. Welcome, everyone. Set number 1 here in Bluefield, the finale of this round-robin tri-match today between Bluefield College, Carolina University, and Thomas More. It's the Rams and the Saints right now. Bluefield College trying to avenge an earlier in the month loss to Thomas More, where the Rams lost all 3 sets. Bluefield College looks like a brand-new squad here today. As far as just the energy, every time some sort of kill drops for the Rams, you would think that Bluefield College would just hit a buzzer beater to make it to the Final Four.
I think, Tony Martin and the Bluefield are really praying what they preach when they say that it's a game where you feed off of the other person's mistakes.
Right, and Bluefield College has certainly done that. See what Cobbler can do right out of the timeout. I think that's going to be the most dangerous guy to watch out for. Cobbler, the setter, has been very strong today for Thomas More in the 2 matches we have seen him so far here in set number 1. You can say the same thing. Here's McHenry, kind of a wild card server. First year from Newport, Kentucky. That patented dance up to the ball, nicks the net and drops in for an ace to make it 15-11. So now at 15-11, McHenry. Let's see as he glides up to the serve again. Good serve, Martin. And Fernandez blocked. What a timeout this is turning out to be. Jan Nunez Hernandez.
Something we haven't mentioned a lot in this broadcast, but is just anytime he's out there, he's making plays.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting a big block right there. Him and Carlson making Fernandez kind of second guess where he was going with it. And a service ace, or service error, excuse me, 16-12.
I guess it could be a service ace.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could have been if it was in, but, if a bullfrog had wings. 16-12. Too low. Point Bluefield. Rams only 8 away from a set 1 victory. Remember the last time they took on Thomas More, Bluefield College failed to win a set. Early lead by 5, but Thomas More has proved today they can come back from before. Low and out. So a point for the Saints from Florence, Kentucky, a suburb of Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati right across the border from Kentucky. Way too hard. McHenry jumped out of the way, but actually got a piece of the block for Thomas More. And Zach Ober is beside himself with that call. And it appears that, Cameron Ware told him, well, I did get a piece of it. Kind of like that old commercial, I touched the ball, coach. Remember that one? No? No?
No. Guess I'm too young.
And that's, oh my God. Dunked down. Jacob Werman. I haven't called on Jacob Werman's name as much. This blows in a new man coming in, Connor Young. You don't remember that one, really? Come on, Alex, it's the championship game. And it's like a values commercial. Oh, I'll show it to you.
Grey Poupon? What?
Not that old. Service error, 19-14.
Now serving number 5, Jadiel Diaz.
Jadiel Diaz. Over the block. Thomas More wants to argue, no, they won't. They wanted the ball to go off of that block, but sailed over. So now the Rams just 5 away. Jadiel Diaz. Ready to serve for Bluefield College. On a sliding play, Diaz got out of the way at the right time, and now it's 21-14. That was a great play to dial up, though, to Casson, and just could not execute to bring that ball inside. Largest lead of the ball game for Bluefield.
Casson was a key player in the last game versus Carolina.
General Smith tried to dump and just missed the mark, a little too low.
Saints now serving Cameron Ware.
Cameron Ware. There's Ciparini, too easy. Point Bluefield. Terrell Boston in to serve to try to bring this game out of reach here in set number 1. A quick conference to talk with this one. Cobbler talking to head coach Ober. Confused as to what the stop was for. Terrell Boston ready to serve, though, for Bluefield. 7-point lead for the Rams, largest one. Stepping up and blocked. Litzler. Hit the pin, point Bluefield. Now the Rams just 2 away. Terrell Boston. Jackson.
They've just looked so impressive. That win versus Carolina really boosted their confidence.
Yeah, it really has. Rams have looked like a different team here today than what we saw against Cumberland a few days ago. Set point, Terrell Boston. Can he end it on an ace? Blocked. Point Bluefield. What a set number 1 against Thomas More. Rams went 0-3 against the Saints earlier this month, and they pick up a confident set 1 victory, 25-15. We're going to head to break here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Don't go away. We got set 2 coming up right after this. Set number 2 on the way here in Bluefield, Virginia. Rams lead at 1-0 after winning the first set 25-15. And Jackson, that was a very confident and a very strong Bluefield College team we saw in set number 1.
Yeah, that's a team that I could see sweeping Thomas More in 3 and battling back.
Well, I tell you what, with Thomas More, a lot of talent there, and they couldn't make the same mistakes they did against Carolina University, against Bluefield. Rams a little bit more talented, a little bit more of a strong front line, and especially in the middle of the net with Banks and Fernandez. And playing on a senior day, Alberto Ciparini, who's coming in, playing in a great form. It's going to be tough to make mistakes against a Bluefield team like that. Now, what can Tony Martin do to start out things well here in set number 2? Rams won the first one, 25-15. And Cobbler trying to go for the quick dunk. Ciparini, I'm not even sure if he got a full hand on that, if that was a block or not. But either way, it counts as a point anyway for Bluefield. Martin, the freshman. Muter couldn't dig that out. 1-1 the score. Substitution. And we see Jackson Sinnard. So this has been really a packed week of Bluefield College athletics, huh? Wednesday had a triple header of 2 softball games and a baseball game. Had volleyball Thursday. We got volleyball. Even after this volleyball game, we were supposed to have softball yesterday. Fernandez. Wow, so much strength for Bluefield College. I don't think the next week is supposed to be as packed, right?
I hope so. Probably put in at least 20-plus hours this week.
Yeah, well, more than that. I mean, heck, you've been here. You're going to be here at least 12 hours today. What a dig out of play. 3-1 Bluefield.
How long did you say we worked on Wednesday?
Ooh, well, you had class. I think I got to the ballpark I got to the dome for temperature checks probably around 11, and then we didn't go home until 11. Another big block from Jobion Banks. How about this Rams team, though? So much energy for Bluefield. Diaz in a joust. Point Rams. I think it might be time to call another timeout, and they will. Thomas Moore calling a timeout. Rams out to a 5-1 lead in set 2. Welcome back, everyone. 5-1 the score. Bluefield College already up. 4-point lead for the Rams, starting out guns a-blazing here. Set number 2. They won the first set 25-15 and already up in this one, 6-1. I think the Rams are just playing some pretty electric volleyball right now, Jackson. And Thomas Moore, honestly, it kind of looks like they've been a little bit shaken by the energy of Bluefield College so far.
Yeah, and you just saw that with Litzler. He just popped it back, and they're not being really confident when they're out there.
Well, luckily, his own teammate was right behind him to pick up for the mistake. And Rams want to say that hit the pin. Hernandez, make it Fernandez. Well, said that didn't actually hit him. Not going to argue too much about it. 6-2 the score. Thomas Moore back with it. Here's McHenry. Overpass. Muter. Oh, Fernandez doing a good job to try to keep that up, but 6-3 the score. I think the Rams are getting a little overzealous when a guy falls down, that it takes like 9 of them to pick him up. Well, it only takes about one dude.
They're just nice guys.
they just launched him in the air. And an error to bail out Bluefield, 7-3.
Those are the kinds of mistakes that Thomas Moore can't make. They made it against the Carolina team, but they cannot make against Bluefield.
Yeah, they made him for most of that first set, and I'm going to keep referencing that 40-38 set because that's how we found out what kind of team Thomas Moore really was. fighting back in a bad situation against the Bruins and coming up with a 3-set victory. They're going to have it cut out for him here. Jadiel Diaz with a right hand.
But they were going toe-to-toe with a team that hadn't won a single set in school history.
Right.
So saying that was their first year.
Right.
With only 2 guys on the team with more than a year of experience.
And only 7 guys total. Well, there's Jan making the, or Jan, excuse me, with the big swing, Nunez.
Yeah, when I went and go ask his teammate, he said, yeah, it's Jan, as in January without the Ueri.
I'm starting to think it's a bit low. And maybe they may have just oversimplified that. There is another point for the Saints, still back within 3. Remember, the Rams have led by as much as 5. Those are blows. Fernandez gonna lace up the shoes. Invoke some memories of T-ball where you gotta stop the entire game to tie your cleats up.
I was a kid that they'd have to get the tee out. They could take the 3 pitches and they had to get the tee out for me. It's not very good at baseball.
That was very nice of them.
It's the only kid who'd strike out with machine pitch.
Well, that's still pretty hard. If you put it in there with the seams, it can come in a curve. I'd imagine that a 9-year-old, it's pretty hard to hit a slider.
Yeah, but I got 1 hit that entire season. Everybody else had batting averages. I had 1 hit.
Batting average. You're like, you ever watch Fairly Odd Parents, Chester McBadbat? That's the first time I made a Chester McBadbat reference in my career. 8-5 the score. Off of the block, point, Bluefield. That's 5 kills for the freshman from Puerto Rico. Tip down, no. It goes back to the Saints off the air for Bluefield College.
I know Ware was thinking, should I hit it or not? Luckily he didn't.
Connor Young ready to serve, the sophomore from Cincinnati. Rams slightly out of system. Pushed over by Chiapparini. Off the block, Muter there. See what Diaz can do. Making it tough. Stepping up, and the block lands in. What a play by Cameron Ware. And the Texas native allows Thomas More to climb back within 2. Rams won that first set 25-15. And remember, Thomas More beat Bluefield 3-0 earlier in the month. The pass up to General Smith, point Bluefield.
Now serving number 5, Jadiel Diaz.
Here is Ware, good dig by Muter. Chiapparini. So Cobbler can set up on a slide play, rolling down the tape. Smith kept the ball alive. Another set. Ware floating over, but Fernandez dives. The field all over the floor. Muter resets for the Rams. Block is there. Point Bluefield. Chiapparini. And a slam of the ball under. That's going to constitute some sort of warning for frustrated Jacob Werman. Diaz ready to serve. A slide Werman. Well, Bluefield really hasn't felt fell for that play as much, but Diaz floated the ball right into the Rams side of the net. A little bit closer, Jackson, than what we saw in set number 1. Rams really pulled away, though, in that last half of it.
They did, and I'm a little impressed more with Thomas More as they've kept this really, really close.
Making a few less mistakes. As we say that, point Bluefield. Just couldn't do anything after the dump from Martin.
You know, I never got why kids would hit it more than they hit it the 3 times. Why they just grab the ball, hand it to somebody instead of messing around.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, Martin got them out of system. Nobody was ready. Here's Terrell Boston. Ace, point Bluefield. See what Terrell Boston can do again, the Richmond native. Josh Ciparini comes up with a kill. 14-8, Rams now 11 away, and once again we're seeing where Bluefield starts to pull away under the serves with Terrell Boston. Just over the line. About a foot difference there. General Smith back in, who's playing a, he actually walks out. Jovion Banks back in. The middle block has been pretty tough for Bluefield College. Ciparini, oh boy, point Bluefield. So Connor Young, no dig. Ball had 0 spin, just flattening into him.
Now serving the center, number 3, Tony Martin.
Comes Tony Martin. Good job that time, Jackson. Chris Carlson attacking the block, and it was one of the few times the Rams block hasn't been strong enough to bring it down.
And, you know, we talk about Chris Carlson. He was a major factor in their offense. He's one of the key players with Asia Pacific Activities Conference champion and MVP for all that.
Yeah, Carlson coming from Manila in the Philippines. 15-11.
Is volleyball pretty big in the Philippines?
I'd imagine that it's big pretty much in a lot of countries. You'd be very surprised as to how many countries have pretty good professional leagues. Alberto Ciparini, another international connection into this one. The Brazilian makes it 16-11.
Now serving the senior.
On his senior day, the lone senior celebrated, and a very pivotal one. Good dig from Muter. Martin ran out of real estate. Well, remember, we got a women's game for you right after this as well. Bluefield College wrapping up the regular season that started all the way back in October. Obviously got delayed and then resumed. That hit the pin. Fernandez just missed it, 16-13. Comes McHenry. Diaz perfectly block, drops out of play. Now it's only an 8-point lead for Bluefield, or excuse me, a 4-point lead, only 8 away. Comes Muter. A serve. Whistle blows, and Saint hit the net. 18-13. Could be a big spot for Bluefield College to try to pull away. Yeah, Tony Martin couldn't pop the ball up in time. Cobbler. And once again, going off of that block. (18-15). Martin goes. Fernandez with a punch over. Blocked. Point Bluefield. Leo Fernandez and General Smith, 19-15. 18 blocks today, Jackson. Defense for Bluefield has really been strong.
Yes, it has. And the Thomas More Saints are kind of struggling up the front side.
Yeah, I think that the blocks are working so well because of General Smith and Jovion Banks and Leo Fernandez. 19-16 now. Rams only 6 away. Block didn't work that time. Still to have almost double-digit blocks. We're not even into the third set yet. Diaz, there's a block. Courtesy Jacob Werman.
Thomas More is really coming into their own right now with losing 25-15 last set, and now they're 19-17 this time.
I think that 25-15 was definitely going to be an oddity, and now Tony Martin tried the dump move, and for the second time, doesn't really seem to have that one down pat. David Atkins coming in. Caleb Wurr, the new setter, in for the first time. And now I'm going to make sure the right people sub in and out. Onto Alvarez. That's a quick moment with Tony Martin. Freshman. Caleb Wurr, the sophomore setter, now in. 21st birthday today. At the tape, and the game is tied. 19-19. So now Thomas More, a little bit more of that momentum shifting over to the Saints side.
Close game coming into these final 6 points.
Rams have to keep the energy up if they want to try to find the final 6. Word. Back for Diaz. Dunked over. Muter with a quick slap. Atkins, the West Virginia native, in a touch for the first time. Ciparini. Atkins with the left hand. McHenry runs out of room. Point Bluefield. That seems like such a huge point. Trying to get the Rams off of the schneid for a little bit.
Lots of energy from that Bluefield bench.
Yeah, and also because of that big left-handed swing from your freshman. Getting your team a little bit more into it. Now taking off. Tony Martin back in with Fernandez. Ace.
See the frustration building up over on the Thomas More side of the court.
Yeah, and I think that Litzler had to kind of calm himself down for not launching that ball beyond the backboard of the basketball hoop that time. Speaking of launching, service error for Yadiel Diaz. It's back down to a 1-point game. 21-20, back and forth we go. Here comes Cameron Ware, the 6'1" sophomore from Texas. Muter. Ciparini. Litzler. A good diving play. Perfect for Ciparini. Off of the block and out of play. Litzler. He had chased all the way onto the bench side. I guess that would have been legal, but I don't know how he would have gotten it across the netting in the correct way. 22-20. Timeout called by the Saints. Bluefield just 3 away from going up 2-0. 22-20, Thomas More, Jackson, just making it a little bit more interesting. We saw where Bluefield really has led for most of this second set. And remember, they won the first set 25-15, but Thomas More making it interesting. The block's coming up a little bit, and they still, even when trailing, have not been afraid of attacking that Bluefield block that has been so good today.
And they're keeping it really close here in the second set. As big of a lead as 5 points, they haven't let it get too far like they did in the first set.
Yeah, Mason Cobbler, big part of the reason for that. Jacob Werman, the middle blocker from Milford, Ohio. But now Terrell Boston, 22-20, subbed into the ball game. Stifled down and really just almost palmed down to the court. Werman into the game, making a difference. So here is Jan Nunez Gonzalez, freshman from Santo Domingo. Was ready to come into the match as Werman actually had the serve. Jumped up, block was there, even coming down. Good play by Banks. And that is in. Drops in inside of the corner. What a play. Getting Cameron Ware back into it, so now it's 22-22. So can Thomas More step back and steal this one away? Banks wanted to have something to say about it. Good dig from Muter. Free ball in the middle, not taken advantage of, and the joust almost won by Ciparini. Fernandez into the net. It's still alive. Cobbler. Once again, Fernandez. And now Thomas More leads. Alfonso Alvarez wants to call a timeout. Thomas More only 2 away. We'll take another break in the Rams Digital Sports Network. We are close in set number 2. (23-22) the score. Right back into it. Jacob Werman and company, 2 away from stealing set number 2 away from Bluefield, who had led the entire time. Muter with an overpass. Good dig, though. Here comes Ciparini. Over the block, point Bluefield once again tied up, and that feels so huge as the Rams will get that back. So make that 9 kills for Berto Ciparini, almost on his way to double digits on his senior day. The only senior celebrated, Tony Martin with a serve. Over the block, push down, set point coming up for Bluefield. Now with double-digit kills, can number 11 possibly be the one that seals set number 2, 24-23, Tony Martin. Over the block, good dig by Diaz. Good block, courtesy Banks. Trying again with Carlson. Ciparini. Still alive, oh my goodness. What a play by Cobbler. Ciparini, another try. Pancake in the air. Swatted down. Still alive somehow. Ciparini to end it. This time he does. 11 kills on the day, his senior day. And Bluefield leads 2-0 after a couple of sets here at the Dome. We'll take a break before we get to set 3. Rams on a roll when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. Set number 3 on the way here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Bailey Engel and Jackson Bass, delighted to have you along for the ride here on a Saturday. Well, truly March and a little bit mad for Alberto Ciparini today here on his senior day. 11 kills already. And, well, that was the most back-and-forth set I think we've seen from any match today. This is obviously the last one of the men's volleyball matches we have seen from this tri-match, but well, for Bluefield College, that was some exciting volleyball they've played. They have just had some sort of spark under them that has really fueled them these first 2 sets.
I definitely think it really had to do with the Carolina game. They really used the momentum that they had, even subbing in a couple people who you wouldn't regularly see, putting them out there, and those people getting the hype going.
Now Caleb Word into the match as the setter again for Bluefield College. Alberto Ciparini celebrated on his senior day. It has been so strong for Bluefield College. He was with Dr. Flowers and Vice President and Director of Athletics, Tanya Walker, as well. Now, Alberto Ciparini, a couple more games at the end, or to end this season. About 5 more games in search of kill number 1,000. Already has 11 today. Trying to make it a bit easier for himself and make that goal semi-attainable. Here is Cobbler out of the break. Set 3 underway with the service error. Well, volleyball fans, stick around. We got the women's game right after this as well. And also, win or lose after the game, Alfonso Alvarez around to talk it over with us here in this ball game. So, Alberto Ciparini with the serve. And out of play. Nunez Hernandez missed the mark completely. We really did see Thomas Moore, and I'm not even 100% sure if it was more of the Rams making mistakes. It was really Thomas Moore using the game plan that they had drawn out at the end of set 2, and it actually worked. It made it interesting. It was tied 23-23. Out of the timeout, Bluefield had to call a timeout. They scored the next 2 points right after the timeout from Alfonso Alvarez.
What do you think Coach Alvarez is telling his kids once that?
I tell you what, Jackson, I think there's got to be something to be said about the culture that Alfonso Alvarez has built, and as far as the team atmosphere, these guys seem to have really bought into each other. And Jovian Banks craters one into the hard court, 3-1. Alfonso Alvarez pretty hyped up for him as well. Here's Colby Muter. Oh, too low. Saints get a point back. And Fernandez, no dig available for the Thomas More Saints. 4-2. Blocked. That time it was all Diaz. We've been talking about the block today with Banks and Smith and Fernandez. Well, Jadiel Diaz joining the club. Ten total blocks today for Bluefield College. Oh, the block, and well, Fernandez just threw up the defensive hands that time. So Bluefield College trying to avenge a loss to Thomas More from earlier on in the month of March. They lost 3-0 against Thomas More. Thomas More came into today losers of 4 in a row and snuck out with a 3-0 win against Carolina after winning the first set on a rally 40-38.
And that one was going straight to Carolina.
And I think that it was Carolina's to win. They had set point at least 9 times. Cobbler, though, I think if Thomas More is going to get back into this one, it's going to be off of the hands of Mason Cobbler, the senior from Westerville, Ohio.
The Kentucky Christian.
Cincinnati Christian.
Oh, Cincinnati Christian.
Service error. Yeah, remember, Cincinnati Christian closed down in the midst of the 2019 season.
Or we would be about to play them in football when it happened.
Yes, it got canceled in the middle. Point goes through the Saints off the service area. Yeah, it got canceled in the middle of the football season. And Cincinnati Christian, who had not won a game up to that point, won a game that year. They had beaten a team and were on a roll. And now I believe that their head football coach is the defensive coordinator at Point. Another team in the Appalachian Athletic Conference and the Mid-South Conference in football. This is Mid-South Conference volleyball. And the Rams have a man down in Fernandez. We're going to take a break here on the Rams Digital Sports Network as he is going to get 10-2. 6-6 the score. So a big loss for Bluefield. Leo Fernandez helped off of the court for Bluefield College. Atkins into the game when Fernandez had been such an energy giver for Bluefield College. And now taken off of the floor, helped up by his college and high school teammate, Alvaro Grande, and head athletic trainer, Erica Bell. So a scary moment there. Seemed to be his ankle, if we could guess from up here. What a tough moment, Jackson, because that's a freshman that has certainly made a difference.
Yeah, he has definitely shown out today, and it's a shaming injury, and we hope the best for him.
So out of the timeout, it is tied. Make it 7-6, actually. Thomas More up by 1. And just like that, it's tied again. Alberto Ciparini. 7-7. Lots of velocity coming off of that swing. General Smith jogging off. Devin Robinson now playing in the place of Leo Fernandez. Saw Robinson play a good amount last year and a good amount against Carolina University in the first game, the Richmond native.
Richmond is such a great area to pick recruits out of that Coach Alvarez has done.
Well, yeah, Coach Alvarez inherited a few of those guys from the previous administration, Ray Vance, but yeah, absolutely right. Still looking there because in a few of the bigger schools in Richmond, men's volleyball is actually an option to play with an 8-7 lead. Thomas More serving. Comes Ciparini. I think the Rams are going to keep doing that, so Thomas More really needs to find a way to try to combat that on the outside edge. Rams won the first set 25-15, then won it by a close margin, and set number 2, 25-23.
I think they know Ciparini is not too far from 1,000, so they're letting him get all those.
Yeah, they're just being really great about it. No, I think Ciparini is absolutely earning each one of those with the huge swings he's put out. Over the block, Diaz there to recover. Another big swing coming. No, just floating over. From the back. Diaz too far out. And a point for the Saints at 9-8. Time called. Back for Cobbler. Thomas More, if they want to win this one, they're going to have to win the next 3 sets. Here's Word. Off of the block. Ciparini with a kill. Nine the score. Good serve by Ciparini. Ace Bluefield. And the lead is back to 1 for the Rams. Another tight serve. Wow, what a block! Jovion Banks. Oh, Banks showing the stoicism there. Just a mean mug as he goes back into the quick little huddle.
So is it an option to wear your mask on the court?
I believe so. And looks like the Rams are exercising that option. Point Saints. So now here's McHenry. 11-10 lead for Bluefield. Jovion just a bit too low.
A close game on our hands.
Definitely a very close game so far. Especially that second set, 25-23. McHenry nicking the top of the net. Diaz helicoptering that one out of here. And the lead is back to 1. So now for the Saints. Alex McHenry. Somehow Atkins got that to go. Well, the 6'5" freshman turning around his shoulder. Maybe not what the doctor necessarily recommended there for the kill, but the Rams able to tie it back up. Here's Muter. Ware floating over the block, and nobody there for Bluefield. So ready to serve. Now Litzler, he's a guy that can certainly make a difference down the stretch. Caleb Word not necessarily dialed in right there.
Thomas More starting to pull away here with a 2-point lead.
It feels like it, right, with the 2-point lead. Rams' last home game of the season. Wow, Diaz popping the shoulder of Cobbler. Now for Bluefield, back and ready to serve. Here's Atkins. Ware played the ball. Good dig in the back. Atkins with a left hand. Chance for McHenry. Ciparini pushed to the corner. Pancake, no. And counted as a kill for Jacob Werman. So it's a 2-point lead for Thomas More. Comes Connor Young. Push down the line, point Bluefield. And it just seemed like the Rams needed that point so badly. That's his 8th kill of the day. And for Diaz, a guy that really has put Bluefield back into these situations when the Rams find that they're falling down to Thomas More just for a tad bit. Freshman from Puerto Rico, making it a bit more interesting, but just as we say that, a service error.
I think we're jinxing all these athletes.
Yes, absolutely. If you believe in that sort of thing, I think that I absolutely did that. Put the hex on Diaz. So here is Cameron Ware. Muter popping the ball for Word. Chipperini off the body of Young again. Down a 1-point game, make it 15 kills for Chipperini. Certainly a great mark for Chipperini, and I think the Rams, if they can confidently win this one, Chipperini might have 20. Only 10 away from that, but the Rams trail by 1. Over the block. Rams not there with it confidently, 17-15. General Smith back in. Comes Colby Muter into the game again. Overpass, and Thomas More fell asleep. Young in the back, Jackson, didn't know where the ball was going.
Just some miscommunication right there.
Yeah, the whole block was right there, saw the ball sky over them. No spin on that one from Word. Slide play. Try it again with Chipperini. Down the line. Lands in. Tie game. See how big of a swing that ends up being. Because of the ignored play over the block. Cobbler. Over the line. Point Rams. Way too much on it from Quentin Roberts. And the Rams have scored their last 3.
Such a back and forth game. You know, you see Bluefield have a lead, then you have Thomas More have a lead, and you're back at Bluefield.
Roberts over that block, tying it up again at 18-18. Absolutely. You can see that Bluefield scored 3 unanswered right after Thomas More had that mental mistake of letting the ball float over so easily. So it just goes to show how quickly that can happen. What a serve for Cobbler. Rams still able to send the ball over. With a block, Chipperini fights the ball back up. Try it again from this side for Chipperini. Ripped down, 19-18. I tell you what, Alberto Chipperini is having one of his best games we've seen her at the Dome, maybe this season. On his senior day, Chipperini. Too low, 2018. Might be time for a timeout for Zach Ober. If this next one goes for Bluefield, I think Thomas More might want to talk about it. Chipperini back again. Chipperini called for it. On that slight miscommunication, it benefits Thomas More. So a side out, 2019. Comes Alex McHenry. And for Diaz, Ware had to recover. Off of the block, tie game for McHenry. Well, it's going to come down to these next final 5 points. Who's going to get them? Rams want to come out with the 3-set victory. Can Thomas More force set 4? And for Bluefield, just didn't have it timed right with Banks. 21-20, the lead to 1 for Thomas More. Timeout, Alfonso Alvarez trying to get this to work just like last time. But we'll take a break on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Thomas More 4 away from their first set victory. Final moments of set number 3 here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Thomas More with a 1-point lead. Alfonso Alvarez forced to call a timeout. Here's McHenry, and a talented server today. Diaz. Oh, great dig by Litzler. Cameron Ware blocked. Litzler recovers. Back on the other side for Sinnard. Diaz lands in, and the Rams tie it back up. Exactly what Alfonso Alvarez wanted out of the timeout, 21-21.
Are we seeing another 40-38 game set?
Well, I mean, I would have never predicted that anyway, so who knows? Off the block, word there. Ciparini from the back. McHenry over the line, a point Bluefield. Wow, for McHenry, he's got to be a little bit disappointed there. That was so close. 22-21, Rams only 3 away. Colby Muter. Whistle blows. And Coach Ober wants to take a timeout, so we'll keep it here. 22-21, Zach Ober calling a timeout. The Saints won that game against Carolina University, 3-0. They currently trail 2-0 against Bluefield College. Rams trying to go for the clean sweep of everyone in the tri-match today before their final couple of games of the season. Bailey Engel and Jackson Bast here on the home finale of Bluefield College men's volleyball, and it's been a fun one so far here in set number 3. Back and forth we go. Bluefield College men's volleyball has been pretty strong today, and I think it's been, whatever happens here at the end of set 3, it has been encouraging for Alfonso Alvarez's squad to not only play this well against a team that beat them 3-0 back earlier on in the month of March, but also a team that looked a little lost at the end of sets against the Cumberland Phoenix just a couple days ago.
Yeah, and when you're Coach Ober, what are you telling your guys right before crunch time?
Well, I mean, you have to think about rolling through Cobbler, as well as your middle blockers just not being able to make a mistake and not getting bogged down by McHenry just missing that. Here's Muter out of the timeout. Nunez Hernandez, a dig from Ciparini. Off the block and stuffed into the body of General Smith. So now it's 22-22. And the set controlled back with a serve of Litzler. Sophomore from Edgewood, Kentucky. Word. Oh, and he went under the net. 23-22. Here's Diaz, point Bluefield. The libero couldn't dig it out. All tied up 23-23. Rams win the last set 25-23. Can David Atkins do for Bluefield?
Bluefield was in this position last set, and they came out on top.
Exact same position Word down to General Smith, too low, and now it's set point for Thomas More. And Alfonso Alvarez wants to call a timeout. Set point as we'll take a break on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Thomas More trying to serve for an ace to send them to set number 4. Set point into the hands of Connor Young. Connor Young and Thomas More control it now. Here's Diaz down the line. It is in. Wipe away the set point opportunity and make that 12 kills for the freshman. Set point, not yet for Bluefield College. Obviously have to win by 2. On the slide play, right to Diaz. Word, beats Ciparini off the block, and now it's match point for Bluefield. And Zach Ober, why not call it timeout one more time? And we will take a break. 25-24. Thomas More trying to figure this out. Match point for Bluefield. Thomas More called a timeout. 25-24 into the hands of Jadiel Diaz. Rams looking for revenge against the Thomas More team that beat them back earlier in the month. Cobbler back to Ware. Word. The left-handed Atkins. Ware nicks it over the block, and once again, set point has taken him away from Bluefield College. So 25-25. Looks like the Rams actually hit the net on that play as well. So no matter what happened with Diaz there, comes Cameron Ware. Not necessarily what Muter wanted. So Diaz off the body of Atkins, still alive. Wow. No. And a double called because I guess it was just absorbed into the body of Atkins. And now here is set point. Cameron Ware. Overpass. Ciparini saves. General Smith with a right hand. Dunk down. Out of play once again. Set point wiped off of Thomas More. So Thomas More wants to serve to try to control their way into sending this one to a set 4. But Bluefield obviously wants to end it here. They won the first set 25-15, the second set 25-23. Now trying to win this one 28-26. Quentin Roberts. Now set point for Thomas More. Jacob Weirman, 6'4", sophomore from Milford, Ohio. Set point for Thomas More. Word to Chipperini. Popped back, Ware saves it. Slight touch there once again. Try it with Chipperini. So Chipperini now 19 kills on the day for Alberto Chipperini. As we talked to the statistician here, 27-27. Up for Atkins. Awkward touch for Roberts, but still good enough to get over the net. Over the block, Word is there. Bumped up, Chipperini. Point, no, has to stay alive, wow! Thomas More takes a 28-27 lead.
This is insane.
Well, this is trying to get a few flashbacks of what we saw earlier today. I think that Bluefield and Thomas More playing a little bit better than what we saw at Thomas More in Carolina. Here's Cobbler. Out! And a point for Bluefield. Ober, very upset about that. He thought that was in, and he might have a point. Point for the Rams.
But sadly, in the NAIA, we don't have replay.
No replay, but they could just replay it and just wipe it off, and it would still be set point. Instead of it being 28-28, it would be 28-27 one more time. That was very close. Chipperini. Ace. Match point coming up. (29-28) Alberto Chipperini. Another ace would end the match once and for all. Chipperini on his senior day. Down the line, out of play, and Bluefield College wins 3-0 and caps this one off with a 30-28 set 3 victory. The tri-match swept by Bluefield, and the Rams don't give up a set here on a Saturday. What a day for Bluefield College men's volleyball, Jackson, and what a rally there to make sure they won that one in 3 sets.
Yeah, I mean, they showed up and they showed out. And the confidence built from that Carolina game definitely showed in this one to beat the Thomas More Saints.
So we're going to have Alfonso Alvarez right after a quick couple of messages. You can guess which ones. You've seen the commercials. And for Bluefield College, 3-0, Rams win it. Final score of this one, Rams sweep the tri-match and sweep the second one, 3-0 right here with the head coach himself, Alfonso Alvarez. And coach, a very confident and energetic game that you guys had against Thomas More, a team that you had lost to previously in the season. What changed from that match earlier in the season, earlier in the month, to get the win against the Saints here today?
Well, Bailey, I've been telling you for a few matches now that we've done a lot of changes at practice, and we've changed a bunch of things that we were doing. Like, for example, I was watching film against our last match, and we got a situation where we got the ball that we wanted. We got the point off of it. Then we go back there and we miss our serve. We miss our serve, and we give the point right back, right? And so at practice, we said we're going to compete more. And we're going to get into those situations. So instead of panicking or being uncomfortable, we're going to be comfortable within that situation, right? And that's, I think, what we saw tonight. We saw a group that was just ready to, what's going on? What's the situation? I could execute. And that's what I've been trying to tell you for a while now. We're ready. We're ready. It's just going to happen. I just don't know when.
Well, you obviously have a young team, but one of the older players on your team, the oldest, I guess I should say, as far as eligibility goes, senior day here, Alberto Chiapparini, 19 kills against the Saints here, turning in a great Bluefield College men's volleyball career. What do you have to say about your outside hitter?
Well, I've said it over and over again, a real special player, real special person, just a young man that I can get in my office. If I got to just, coach him up, give him a hug, or if I got to chew him out, he's ready. He's got that attitude that, Coach, what do you got? Let's go. How can I get better? And then on top of that, in the matches today, you saw him score points other than just a big swing. He would push the ball. He would tip it. He would find the open spot. It almost like he bullied them a little bit, And just a special player, and I can't be more proud of him. I really can. He's just a great kid. I'm going to miss him.
Well, there was a couple instances today where Bluefield College was down 2 late in sets, and you called a timeout. What did you tell your team in those couple of timeouts?
So, we have stairs in the gym, right? And when we get in practice, we get into those situations, and then the losing side has to run some stairs. And, boy, they don't like it. I shared with you last time. I said, these guys love to practice. So we got out of here late one night. The next morning, we have a 6 a.m. practice. And at 6 a.m., you should have seen those guys. They were like, Coach, I'll run stairs. Let's fix this. But when they really go to run stairs, they don't like it. Like, it's like, I don't want to lose. So in the huddle, I said, we're not running stairs. They are. So make them run their stairs. And then that was it. It just like they lit up in the huddle. It was great.
That's a great way to end it. No stairs to be run today. Bluefield College with a couple of victories against Thomas More and Carolina University. That's going to wrap up our men's volleyball coverage. Join us later for women's volleyball. But for the men's volleyball coach, Alfonso Alvarez, and my broadcast partner, Jackson Bass, wrapping up this one with a 3-0 win. Bluefield College wins this one against the Saints. Take it easy, Rams fans.